region and district in these 5 states, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, Andhra and Telangana. The point to make is that the time has come for the media of the South to say we want to be represented. Because the last 20 years have taught me that unless you ask to be represented, I would even say fight to be represented, because there are people far more polite than me. One cabal in Lutyens, Delhi will neither give an ear or a care to look beyond their carefully structured fences and well-manicured power lawns. The power of the media is not in Delhi, it is here, in Chennai, in Mumbai, in Bengaluru. But the usurping of the power has happened. And it is maybe 5 or 6 organizations sitting in Delhi have formed a cozy club where Shankar, they would not appreciate the fact that this media also exists. I ask you today, have you given them that right to represent you? When they go to the governments and the regulatory agencies, when they go to the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, to private organizations, to the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, I ask you today, have you given them the sovereign right to represent you? To say that we are the media? You haven't. Have they taken it from you? Yes. Why? Because you've never asked for a voice. So my third point, we need to really think about this today. And people like Swami, who's sitting here, need to play a critical role in this. Because we have people of experience outside Delhi as well in the media. You see, ladies and gentlemen, South India is a massive market, etc. I'm telling you, there is a need to fight for representation. I will equally say that it is important to end the usurping of power by one lobby. So what we did was we formed 3 weeks back, something called the News Broadcasters Federation of India. A federation of news channels, almost 50 news channels. And over 17 of our 50 channels are from the south of India. So I have personally taken that step last week. And I'm the most unpopular person in Delhi today. I have just short not been thrown out of the News Broadcasters Association. The News Broadcasters Association, and maybe they will sack me after this, is a carefully constructed group of people in which 7 channels, or 7 or 8 channels, some with, I won't mention, one of them I started my career in, have 0.001% viewership in this country. But they are permanent board members of the NBA. Now let me explain how this happens. You know the UN Security Council. They have formed a UN Security Council kind of structure. Everybody has the veto power. But you ask today, this thriving industry, will they have a power there? They won't. So 70% of the members of what is seen to be the most powerful grouping of news organizations in this country are all based out of a 5 into 5 kilometer zone in Lutyens, Delhi. How fair is that? How fair is that? Who gave them the right to get the UN Security Council passed? Why does Buriya Kalamai not matter? Why does V6 News not matter? Why does Asianet News Network not matter? Why does Polymer News Network not matter? Why does News 7 or MKTV, why do they not matter? You see, you talk of regional languages. And OTT later today, I know it's on your agenda. But the fact is that at the present, you now must coordinate your actions to fight this cabal, both commercially and editorially. Seek your space, demand your due, shift the balance of power, which is my 4th point. And I want this conclave to actually think about it. See, regional media broadcasters in regions beyond Delhi are powerhouses in their field, and it is time they demand and create hubs. Now this is another idea that I have been pushing, and I have been telling people wherever. I said, my funda is simple. The farther from Delhi, the better. Delhi cannot become the media capital of India. Take a resolve today at this meeting that you will not allow Delhi to become the media capital of India. Create a second national hub of media in Chennai, in Pune, in Bengaluru, in Mumbai. Farther from Delhi, the better. You may not have thought of this, but I only think strategically. I look at the media 10 years, 20 years ahead, and I ask myself, what would I like the media to be And what steps am I taking today to evangelize the idea and actually stick my neck out? Now, today what I'm telling you may seem impossible, but please understand that you are in a, if I ask you today, can there be a media hub which operates as a special economic zone, for example? Can you have a media hub if we want, and I've told this to everyone today, we had a software revolution in this country. We became the back end of the world. We led the IT revolution. Can India be the second media hub for the world? I think it can be. Have we thought of it? We haven't, because we become insular in our thinking. We're really happy in our own domestic markets, in our local businesses. We haven't amalgamated. We haven't thought of the future. The future is simple. 2 things for the future, can I tell you? 2 things for the future. 10 years from now, maybe 5 years from now, there will be an India. We will make it happen. Where there will be media hubs of equal significance in Mumbai, Bengaluru, Chennai, Trivandrum, as equal in power and stature as those operating in Delhi. Remember, those are the Vanshvadis, as they say in Hindi, the dynasts. They inherit media organizations, but the media is not a club to be inherited. The media must be deserved. We are the anti-dynast media club. We are the non-Lutyens media club. Think of it as a thought what you can do. Now, did you think these things can happen? Maybe not, but did you think that Article 370 would be scrapped? Do you think this can happen, but did you think that there would be an anti-triple talaq bill which would stack up in Parliament and would be passed on the 30th of July? No. Fact of the matter is that we are living in changing times. And that's what I want you to think about today. Nobody thought of many things that are happening in this country today. And I say, this country's battle is not between right and left. This country's battle is between right and wrong. That's it. No left liberal can stand up to me and say 370 was right. It was wrong. That's it. What is happening is correct. We can have a debate on it. But I want you to believe that from this place maybe you can make that change. The next thing which I want this forum to think about, when the shift happens, because it will happen, what I'm telling you will happen, believe me, it will happen. The battle has begun. The media is going to shift out of Delhi. I'm asking you today, what will be your role in catalyzing that change? I'm playing my part. We formed an organization. After this, I hope to meet several people from the media here, collaborate with them, work with them, change the indices of power, collaborate commercially and editorially with regional news broadcasters to find better advertising models, better ways of reaching out to people, together talk to distribution networks, reduce the cost of distribution, expand in the content creation space. These are practical conversations that I need to have, because besides being a loud anchor, I'm also an entrepreneur. So I want to have these conversations, but now let me tell you eventually what the future will be. See, let me explain this. When a shift happens in the balance of power in terms of domestic power structures in the media, I would say that where should you stop there? You should not stop there. You should shoot for the stars. You should shoot for the stars, because there is nothing that Indian media cannot do. And I have said this, people laughed me out. In 2013, I sent this to the Financial Times in London, and they did a page with me called Lunch with the FT. And I thought they were taking me seriously. They devoted an entire page in a London newspaper to me. Then they made a cartoon, and they thought it was very funny because I actually was saying that we are going to have a global news organization of India. They thought it was a practical joke. And then I said this exact same thing that I told them in 2013. I remember December 2015. There was a huge media conclave in Moscow. And there were the leaders of CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, all those guys there. I showed them the statistics. I told them the way media is being consumed. I told them about literacy and awareness levels. And I proved to them that the West is the most unaware place about international relations. And the most aware place about international relations is India. And for the last 6 years, at every forum I go to, I have been evangelizing my greatest dream. And my greatest dream is of multiple media organizations from India, rooted in India, invested in India, people from India, equity from India, technology from India, broadcasting to the world. That is my dream. So I need to tell you this. Indian media cannot always be the passenger in the car. We do not deserve to be the passenger in the car. You see the journalists in this country, and when I come to the South, there is an overwhelming amount of established journalists that have never gotten their due. So I'm asking you today, we are talking about the future. Why can't a global vision be born out of India? And I believe that there are 3 indices that you need to carefully think about to succeed in global news. I don't know beyond news. I'm a news guy. You ask for news and television, I'll talk about it. I can't talk about entertainment. I am the entertainment. But there are 3 ticks that you need to have in global news. And with young people, I met some people from MOP Vaishnav College. Talk about this in your colleges. What do you need to be a global news media powerhouse? 1, you need youth. We have it. We are a young country with a workforce that is set to become the world's largest by 2027. We have 24 million people coming into the workspace every year, 2 million a month. We are a country where the youth are ambitious, aspirational, hungry for more. And this youth, for 2/3 of our population, without doubt, this hunger to grow transcends into media as well. So we should not think small anymore. Reason number 1, we should get into global media, global news. Reason number 2, simple. Technology, we have it. But there's something which upset me recently. Someone told me that, you know what, some of the best animation is being replicated in India. I said, what do you mean replicated in India? They said, no, the artists with the soft skills are in the US. But you know, Indians are great. The moment you give them an idea, they sort of implement it. But it upset me. Why can't we be the artists? We're capable of being the artists. We undermined ourselves. We're very happy being the back end of the world. We cannot be the back end of the world, which is why I'm here to tell you we're going to be the front end of the world. India is embracing technology at the fastest pace in the world. Our IT exports are actually growing 10% in this financial year. We're seeing a spike on a year-on-year basis. We are ranked 3rd among promising markets for tech breakthroughs. So it is undeniable that when you need this technology to come in to build a global news or media powerhouse, you have it in India. The 3rd reason why we will succeed in global news is because you need English. And we have it. We speak better English than anyone in the United Kingdom today. Better than any of them. 10% of India's population being English. Even according to poorly measured statistics, that's 125 million people. That makes us the 2nd largest English-speaking nation in the world. Why can't India wield all these 3 advantages? Technology, youth, and English to become a global news hub. So the point I want to make at closing is this. We're the world's largest democracy, 900 million voters. We hold the world's largest election. It is only natural that now more than ever before, we actually think of leading the world in the media space, which is the most democratic platform that exists. Why should we be the back office of the world any longer? I say it is time to take charge and to lead the way. So essentially, I leave you with 2 thoughts. And I am actually inviting anyone to join me in this because I am in it now. I always wanted to have my own network. God gave me the opportunities I got. I feel very blessed. Whatever we did, we gained. We got the support of the people of this country. We benefited from it. Now I've built an organization. The organization will grow. We're doing big things in digital next month. But what is our bigger game? And I am now inviting collaborators in this. Our bigger game should be 1, can we change the power dynamics of the media in India? Can we tell those guys in Delhi, hello, we exist? I'm from Guwahati, you know. I supported the launch of a channel called News Live in 2008-9 something. I sent some of my people and they introduced Abbott and Vizarti and we taught them the system integration. And today I go to Guwahati, there are like 11 channels. There are 30 news portals. It's incredible, this mushrooming thing. It's not political. It is genuine. People are hugely consuming media. So it's time to tell from regional powerhouses we exist we change the power dynamics. If any of you here know anyone or are personally willing to be vested in the transformative experience of taking the power balance out of Delhi, not denying them their balance, but just having a better balance of power in India, join me. Second point is, if you believe that we can be the next index of global news, the global news media, even if you cannot join it, but if you actually believe that it will give us a sense of pride, that we can be the next soft power, our soft power cannot just be pushed through yoga. Let's be real about it. Our soft power has to be our influence in the way the world thinks. And I have done this before. And this time, I would really look out for people who can help me take this forward. So, not all of this is specific only to South India, but I have told you also reasons why, with your unique advantage, media that you have, and your language prowess, you can lead the way. I hope to collaborate with a lot of you as I take this step into the future. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. India can be the media hub of the world with potential is in South India. Thank you so much. Arnab, there are lots of people waiting to talk. Many of them, I'm sure, want to be part of your debates and ask you questions. And Arnab, you're going to be picking the person who's going to ask questions. So put your hands up and Arnab will choose. You have questions? Man of many questions? Put your hands up.
Hello, Arnab. This is Dr. Valan from Loyola College Office of Media Relations, Chennai.
Nice to meet you, sir.
My question is this. Will the new education policy reduce the South Indian power that we have now?
So I'm not aware of the details of that. So unlike on my show where I comment on everything, I'll give you an informed reply later.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know, so I don't want to claim.
Thank you.
Right, we have one more question and here goes the mic.
Hi, Arnab. Very interesting talk. I think, while watching television, it's difficult today to differentiate PR and actual news, propaganda. So how do you kind of see that improving in our society? Because obviously it's becoming a large problem.
So, I have a very simple formula. I know that we cannot cover everything. So our day begins by asking ourselves, what are those 2 things or 3 things which we think will make people think deeper. So my entire approach has been that if I can remain in your aftertaste after you watch my show, right? And if it can be a conversation starter for you. For example, get all the opinion together, have a strong debate, and you polarize opinion. Is it bad to polarize opinion? It's not. I think it's very good to polarize opinion because you are making people less passive. You're provoking people to think. Many people say that if you're doing all the thinking and you have all the opinion, you want to force your opinion on people, are you treating people as passive? No. When people are watching shows like ours or channels like ours, at that moment they are passive. But believe me, it's like a long-lasting drug. It will make you think for a period of time. And I think change happens when you can get larger and larger numbers of people to think on issues. I'm sorry to give you a slightly longer answer to this. You actually made me sort of just reflect on this matter a little more. We were not in the conversation. Till 2007 or 8 or 9, news was not in the conversation. I was meeting Venkat, of Reno some time back, and I told him that we are in the conversation. We are leading the conversation, for good or bad. So we are bringing current affairs alive to your world today. And we're making you part of the conversation. I can assure you today, if you ask this audience today, whether 377 or 370, more people today have a more informed opinion on things. So the way I look at us in the news industry, we are not evangelists. I don't talk about the journalism of courage and talk about things. We're practical people. But if in the course of doing what we do, we make a longer lasting change in the country, then I think that would have served the broader national interest. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Arnab, I have to say this, most journalists, even the most seasoned ones, don't know how to say Chennai properly. They still say Chennai. And you said, Nadu, Arnab, in absolute style. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. Because you have come from coming. And we'd like to thank you, Mr. Shankar and Mr. Bhatt from Food Dimension Media. And I request you on stage. Arnab, we'd like to set the stage. We'd like to thank you. One more request. When you step down, everyone's going to take a picture with you. But I'd say, can you do a reverse selfie with everyone here? That's possible? Okay, sure. All right, thank you so very much. All right, we move on to another power-packed session. We have two fantastic